Hi, I'm Amanda Skelton, an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator. I'd like to show you this World of Good, I'm calling it a sample card, or a sampler card, because it's sort of like in an arrangement like you sometimes see in a frame, and they call them sampler frames. So this really is to show you how you can make a nice design with lots of different stamped images. So I've used the World of Good as a spinner card before, which was mostly using the dies from the bundle. This time I'm going to mostly focus on the stamps because it's such a really nice set. So if I just show you, so this is the Beautiful World stamp set, and then we've got the matching dies. This is about to retire though, and if you can get hold of it, it's a really good set, but at the time of videoing this, at the end of April, it'll be whether it's available or not. So this is what I'm going to mostly be using today. But you could use this with any style of stamp set or any theme, so it's quite good to get the dimensions, and you can then work out your own stamps that you want to use. So what we'll need, just to show you the inside, I've used the die from the set just to make it a bit more of a detail inside, so that's quite nice. Okay, so what you'll need, so this card, I've done it with the DSP that comes with it as well, which again I know is out of stock now and will not be continued. And used Night of Navy, and I've used Night of Navy ink, and I've used Smoky Slate ink as well. But I'm going to do a slightly different colourway this time, again using the DSP. I'm using Mossy Meadow card, the World of Good DSP, again another layer of Mossy Meadow, and then Whisper White. So the sizes that you'll need, so the base is a piece of A4, or half a piece of A4, and then scored in the middle, so that is 8 1/4 inches by 5 3/4, and that's scored halfway at 4 1/8 of an inch. And then you'll want a piece of DSP which measures 5 5/8 of an inch by 3 7/8 of an inch. And then you'll want another piece of if I can get these pieces off, another piece of Mossy Meadow, or whatever your base card colour is, and that needs to be 5 1/8 by 3 3/8 of an inch. And then you want a piece of white cardstock that measures 4 7/8 of an inch by 3 1/8 of an inch. And what you're going to do is, when this is all one piece like this, you can see that these are smaller, and I'll explain why in a minute. So you're going to need to cut it across from the left edge. You're going to cut that at 2 1/4 inches, so this piece is 2 1/4 inches across. And then you're going to be left with this piece here as a solid. And you're going to cut down from the top. You're going to cut down 1 1/4 inches. And then that'll leave you with this piece here. And then you're going to cut across from one of the edges, it doesn't matter actually which edge, 1 1/4 inches across. Okay, now what you're going to then need to do is you're going to need to trim both of these pieces, because when it's full size, if I show you here, when it's full size or all together, then this piece will go up to here. And because we want to have the gaps in between it like this, we need to cut these down. So each of these pieces need to be 1 1/4 inches by 1 3/4 inches. So check which sizes they are at the moment once you've cut these in half, and you need to trim each of them down to 1 1/4 inches by 1 3/4 inches. Okay, so let's put those, well, let's start with those actually. Let's ink these up. So I'm going to be using the one of the map dies. There's one for each west and east hemisphere. It's up to you which one you want to use. I'm going to use the base. So the colours I'm using are, I haven't got the Mossy Meadow ink actually, so I'm going to use Old Olive, which actually is a really, really good colour option for it. So I'm going to, on the large piece, I'm going to put the map base, and I've done that in the green. And then I'm going to go for Crumb Cake. So I'm going to have two colours on here. As you see on here, I've got the blue and the grey. I'm going to do the green and the crumb cake, which is sort of like a very pale beige colour, which I think will quite go nice with this colourway. So I'm going to ink that up nicely. Make sure your world is up the right way, and you want to try and get the bottom of the world sitting on the bottom of the holder. Doesn't matter if there's a bit of a gap. Okay. Oh, did that quite well. Didn't go quite so well. If you can see here, there's a bit of a gap, but anyway, so that's quite good. So that's going to be that one piece, and then I'm going to put the sentiment. I haven't got enough blocks, so I'm having to change them over. So I'm using the sentiment from the same stamp set, which is Life's a Beautiful Journey, and I think I'm going to do that in the green because that's more striking, so I think that's quite good for the sentiment. Just get those out of the way before I get ink on those. So this is going to be for the sentiment. That's the green, isn't it? Yeah. So again, you just want to centre that up on that section, which is your top section. And then we're going to have, now I put the inkwell on this section so that I could then take the feather across. So that seemed to work quite well. So I'm going to do the inkwell base on the left hand side one, and I'm going to do that in the green again. Again, it's the darker colour. I'm going to do that towards the bottom so that the feather has got somewhere to go, and then I'm going to use the crumb cake. Did I say crumb cake? Yeah, crumb cake for the compass. Now there is a north, south, east and west, and actually the east and west you can see more clearly on this. So I am going to do it so it's west and east, and that is crumb cake, yes, just checking. And then I'm going to put that about centre. Okay. Right, what we also want to do is, I did the feather in the smoky slate on this. I just think that looks more feather colour. I might do it in the crumb cake actually on this one. So what you need is a spare piece of white card, which I forgot to get hold of. Bear with me a minute. Right, so scrap piece of card, and I'm going to put the feather on, and this we will want to die cut. So again, let's put the lids on this before I get it everywhere. So I'm going to stamp up my feather. I'm just going to stamp it once, and then I'm just going to stamp it again. I might do it the second generation actually, just so that it comes out a little bit paler, because feathers are quite pale, aren't they? That comes out really nice, doesn't it? Right, so now I need to die cut that, so let me just put these pieces away so I don't get it all squashed, and get my die cutting machine. And we're going to use the feather piece from this for now. So you just want to place it over your inked image, trying to get it centered. Where's it gone? There it is, still on the paper, look. Right, get rid of that for the minute. Okay, so there we have our feather, and now it's a case of putting it all together. Oh, excuse me, really suffering with hay fever today. So we've got all of our pieces there, and that's going to go up like that. So let's get our trusty silicone mat so we don't get glue on everything. So you just want to basically stick all your layers together. In the middle for luck. And then your cardstock layer. Again, centre that one. Up there. Okay. And then when you place this, what I suggest you do is place this to start with, because you want to make sure you get your gaps in between. You're going to get the same gaps at the edges and a bit of a gap in between. And then these pieces you want to line up with the left edge of the top piece and the bottom edge of this piece here. So if you place it like that, then you can take one piece off and place it back on again. And that just gives it a good way of being able to guide you. So just do that, make sure it's level with the bottom, evened up. Nice gap on the left, nice gap on the right. Okay. And then we'll do the top piece first, because then that will make it easy to line up the two bottom pieces, because you'll want to make sure that the left edge and the right edge of the two pieces line up with this. So again, you want that to line up to the top edge, and you want a similar gap onto the right edge here as the left here. And then these two pieces you can then line up with the bottom edge. And this you can line up with the bottom edge and the right hand edge of the, can't see what I'm doing there. So bottom edge here and the right edge there. There you go, and you get nice edges between them. Okay, then I'm going to use some foam, sticky pads, and I'm just going to put a couple of thin slices of foam pads on the back of our feather, our quill. Take the edges off. Okay, and then you just want to position it so that it doesn't distract from the writing, but it sort of links into the pot like that. Okay, so that's the front of your card done. All you need to do now is the insert. So an insert is again half a piece of A4 folded in half. You just want to make sure that it's a little bit smaller than the edges. And then again, we're going to take one of the dies, and we're going to take this die this time. And this I think will be quite good for an edging for a lot of different cards. So we want our die cutting machine again. And we're going to place this so that it goes through the front and the back pieces. So you want to fold it closed, place it that way, and then you just want to put it across the bottom, equal edges and as straight as you can to the edge. That's not quite, there you go, that's better. Sometimes when you move the top plate, I haven't done that very well, have I? When you move the top plate, sometimes it'll move the die, and sometimes it'll just move it enough that you can then straighten it on the paper. for the minute. Okay, so then you have your, you can't see it very well on white, can you? Let's show it on there. So then you have your edging there. And then what you want to do is take it from the fold. Take it from the folded edge because it'll be stuck together. And then you can just gently prise it apart because it'll stick together a little bit. And then you just want to stick in your insert as normal. Okay, open it up down the middle just to keep it open. And there you go. And then you have the insert as well. So that is my sampler card design. Hope you've enjoyed it. As always, my details are on Facebook, Amanda's Crafted Cards, and the products that you've seen or anything else that's Stampin' Up related is on my Stampin' Up website, which is amandascraftedcards.stampinup.net. Hope you've enjoyed it and look forward to seeing you soon. Bye!